right now. In a world where history took a different path, the night is not entirely dark. This is Drift and Lore, sleep stories from the universe. If you were to stand atop the Palatine Hill tonight, looking down at the ancient city of Rome, you would see a quiet transformation. The empire has grown, not just in legions and stone, but in the gentle science of steam and warmth. Look closely at the great marble temples that crown the 7 hills. They are bathed in a soft, warm white glow. It is not the flickering smoky orange of olive oil lamps, but the steady calm light of gas lamps, burning cleanly within copper lanterns. And from the brick chambers beneath the stone floors, a gentle breath rises. It is the soft, rhythmic sigh of white steam, escaping into the cool midnight air, carrying the heat of the earth to keep the grand halls warm. Tonight, we will wander together through this empire of iron and stone. We will follow the night train as it glides along the Appian Way. We will board a steam-powered galley sailing across the quiet Mediterranean, and we will rest under the gaslights of the Forum, where the marble has learned to breathe. Close your eyes. Let your breathing find the same slow, steady rhythm as the copper engines cooling in the dark. The empire has been building for 1,000 years. It will not mind if you fall asleep before the journey is done. Our journey begins in the city of Alexandria, during the 1st century of the empire. In a quiet workshop near the great library, a man named Heron watched a small bronze sphere. It was suspended between 2 curved copper pipes, rising from the lid of a sealed cauldron of boiling water. As the steam rose from the cauldron, it filled the sphere and rushed out of 2 tiny nozzles, pointing in opposite directions, and the sphere began to spin, whirling in the warm candlelit air, singing a soft, high-pitched song of steam. It was beautiful, a minor miracle of pressure and motion, spinning without hands. In our history, this sphere was called the Aeolipile, the ball of the wind. For many centuries, it was treated as a toy, a clever curiosity to amuse the wealthy guests at banquets, or a puzzle for the scholars in the academy. But in this world, Heron looked closer at the spinning metal. He saw not a toy, but a tireless worker, a servant that did not require bread, nor water to drink, nor sleep in the night. It required only the heat of a wood fire, and the simple breath of boiling water. On his parchment scrolls, Heron drew new lines. He replaced the thin bronze sphere with heavy, thick copper plates, riveted together to withstand great force. He forged cylinders of iron, and pistons that moved with the slow, heavy weight of the tide. Within a single generation, the copper engines left the workshop. They traveled across the empire, carried by wooden carts and ships. They went deep into the silver mines of Hispania, where they sat in the dark rock, breathing slowly, pumping out the cold water that pooled in the deep shafts. They went to the dry plains of Sicily and Egypt, turning massive millstones to grind the grain that fed millions. They did the work of 1,000 oxen, yet they stood perfectly still, ticking with a steady, brass heartbeat. The flame that Heron lit in Alexandria did not burn the empire down. It did not bring noise or soot to the clean marble streets. Instead, it warmed the empire. It gave it a steady, metal pulse. As you lie here tonight, let your mind rest by that ancient hearth, a fire that has been kept burning for hundreds of years, keeping the copper cylinders warm, keeping the world safe and steady in its quiet, mechanical sleep. A little outside the great stone gates of Rome, the Appian Way runs straight to the south. It is the queen of roads, paved with heavy polygonal basalt stones, polished by the sandals of Roman legions and the iron wheels of merchants for 500 years. But tonight, running parallel to the ancient stone, there are 2 lines of dark, quiet iron. A railway, resting gently in the grass and wild mint of the rolling Italian hills, Listen closely. In the deep quiet of the night, a low, distant rumble rolls across the fields. It is not the sound of thunder, nor the rush of wind, but the steady breath of a steam carriage. It moves at a gentle, unhurried pace, no faster than a walking horse. It pulls 3 wooden carriages, their small glass windows glowing with the amber light of beeswax candles inside. Inside, the passengers are warm, rocked into a deep sleep by the slow, rhythmic sway of the carriage. The train is traveling south toward the hills of Capua, following the iron rails as they curve gently through the dark. The iron wheels meet the joints of the rails with a soft, comforting clack. Clack, 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 slow as a resting heartbeat. The engine itself is a quiet monument of marble and metal. Its long boiler is wrapped in bands of polished brass that reflect the stars. Its chimney is carved like a Corinthian column, venting small, soft clouds of white steam that drift low over the grass and disappear into the olive groves. It does not rush. The night is long, and there's no need for haste in the dark. Sparks rise occasionally from the chimney, floating upward to join the constellations, before cooling and vanishing into the cool night air. With each click of the rails, you are carried further from the noise of the day. The rails will hold you. The train knows the way. You have only to drift and let the stone road slide away. Further to the south, where the stone roads meet the shore, the great sea begins. Tonight, the Mediterranean is flat as obsidian, a dark mirror, holding the silent weight of the stars. A long vessel glides across this glassy expanse. It is a Roman galley, but its wooden oars are held high and still, dripping slow, quiet drops of salt water back into the deep. In their place, on either side of the dark hull, 2 large paddle wheels turn. They are driven by a copper steam engine nestled deep in the ship's hold. Its fire is fed by coal, burning slowly behind thick iron doors. The paddles dip into the water with a soft, washing sigh. Swoosh, swoosh, a regular, soothing pulse. Each stroke of the paddle wakes the tiny lights in the sea, bioluminescent creatures that glow with a cool blue fire, trailing behind the ship like a path of starlight written on the water. The captain stands at the wooden helm, looking not at the shoreline, but at the heavens, the Great Bear, Orion, the quiet guides that have led sailors across the water since the first log was carved. The copper chimney breathes a thin, gentle trail of smoke that smells of salt and coal. It rises straight up, dissolving into the dust of the Milky Way. There is no wind tonight, no waves to rock the ship, only the gentle, slow stroke of the paddle wheels, pushing the vessel through the dark. You are floating on a sea of stars, suspended between the sky above and the reflection below, locked in a quiet, dark embrace. Let yourself be carried across the flat, quiet water. We return to the city, to the quiet heart of the empire. It is midnight in the Roman Forum. The busy markets are empty now. The merchants, the politicians, and the guards have gone to their homes. The white marble steps, once crowded with thousands of feet, are now cool and still under the moon. Along the ancient pathways, the gas lamps stand like silent sentinels. Their light is steady, white, and clean. It makes the white marble of Carrara seem to glow from within, casting soft shadows across the stone floor. In the distance, the great boiler houses that warm the public baths have quieted their fires. The large iron doors are shut, and the coals are covered for the night. Only a low, warm draft of air escapes from the tall chimneys, shimmering slightly in the starlight above the tile roofs. The air smells of dry marble, warm metal, and the clean water, flowing from the hills through the stone aqueducts. A marble fountain nearby spills water into a carved stone basin, reflecting the steady light of the gas lamp above. Trickle, trickle, cool, endless, and quiet. The Empire is resting. Its day of building and forging is over. The iron wheels have stopped. The steam has been quieted. Only the gas lamps remain awake, keeping watch over the white stone. The shadow of the Temple of Saturn stretches long and dark across the forum, pointing toward the quiet hills. Let your thoughts rest here, on the cool marble. Under the steady light, everything has been built. The city is safe, and you are safe. The Empire is asleep. From the hills of Rome to the shores of Alexandria, the copper boiler houses are quiet. The iron carriages are still, and the sea is dark. Men have built great things. They have harnessed the steam, laid the iron, and lit the streets. But the night has not changed. The stars that watch over the gaslit forum tonight are the same stars that watched over the open fields before the first stone was laid. They do not wonder at our iron. They do not care for our steam. They only shine, quietly, coldly, offering the same calm light to the emperor in his palace and the passenger on the night train. Your breathing is slow now, slow as the night tide, regular as the cooling engines. The world is built. The work is done. The fires are low. There is only the dark, the gaslight, and the stars. Let yourself go. Drift past the columns of stone, past the rails of iron, into the quiet sky. They are still turning, somewhere. The engines. But tonight, they are only sleeping. Sleep now. Sleep now. But tonight, sleep now.